Hi everyone, this is Tash with my last Whisper Quiet study planner video on my progression, where I'm up to today. This is my personal planner, Vonderspec Standard in Touch Me. Very quickly, that's just a Kiki K Love and Hugs card that I like the quote on. This is an Onika Hanby pocket thing, can't think of what it's called, but you put paper in here and here. It's quite a robust little setup. It's double-sided. You can put your receipts or your notes, like money notes and all that sort of stuff. You could use this almost as an inbox. That is just a what brand is that? Debden front page protector. I bought a Debden planner simply for the tabs, the monthly tabs, and larger tabs at the back, but most importantly, this page lifter. This is the duck's nuts. It is solid, probably here, and it's got elongated holes so that you can smudge the pages up without them getting tucked in under the rings. Ring protectors just don't do the same thing, so this is excellent. You can't get this in the A5 size to do the same, because the A5 Debden has rings all the way up, and I don't think they fit in the A5 planner. I don't think that the ring distances fit properly. I could be wrong though. Anyway, going into this planner, I've got my yearly planner here that basically has my study periods scheduled out for the whole year, and then that incorporates my daughter's in pink, her terms. She starts school at the end of July, and then it just shows me where our schooling doesn't line up, and for availability if my husband's away and she's sick and I've got to take time off work, or however that happens. But that's basically that, and just a couple of other family things that I've got recorded there. You can use the other side of this DIYfish yearly insert. As you can see, I haven't found a use for it yet, but a lot of people find that quite useful. And if you've got a 3-year outlook on that calendar on that side, this side's really tiny to read, but it's still printed pretty clearly. Then I've got a 3-year outlook on DIYfish as well, and then that just shows, so it goes per year, and you can just highlight that. It's just basically a replication of replication, is that a word? I don't know, it's getting too late and I need to go to bed and sleep. It's just a duplication of what I had in the yearly one, and I'll fill out 2018 when it gets closer to it. Then you can put goals and other significant things in there. My husband will be deployed next year, and he'll be doing other work-related things that I'll probably put in there if he's away for any significant period of time. I'll go back to this way. I'll go straight to June, because I know I've covered confidential bits. So this is the version 2.2 in DIYfish. Now it folds out like so, and it shows a weekly view, because when you get to the weekly view, you can fold that out and view it like so, and just not miss anything. Really ingenious how Shang Chen has designed this. But in any event, the weeks are vertical rather than the traditional horizontal. That's the only thing you've got to adapt to there. On this monthly view, as you can see, I've just got notes of my classes, lectures, tutorials. I've got a test coming up at the end of this month. Birthday thing for my daughter, whose birthday's coming up in 2 weeks, and she's growing up way too quickly for my comfort. uni starts up again next week, so I've got my uni weeks recorded, and I have here highlighted, but I've changed it, and I'll get to that in a moment, my non-working days. What I've done in my weeklies is I've highlighted my working days because they're less than my non-working days, including the weekend. It just makes it easier to read. So of course you just do your monthly things there, and I just expand here if I need to add information that I can't fit in the box. Here I was reading the DIYfish Facebook group, and someone, and I do apologise, I can't remember who it was setting up a new style, and they put sticky notes everywhere, and I've started to adapt a similar thing here. So doing monthly goals, just some personal goals, and if I have to write down anything significant that I need to achieve by the end of the month, say for instance finishing a draft of an assignment or something like that, as a general thing, because when I get to my study pages, they're only weekly. So this would give me a better outlook of everything that I need to do for the month. Then going to the weekly, I put my meal plan there in that section there, as you can see, and here is my weekly calendar. So these are my time and day specific things, and reminders if I've got bills to pay. Sorry, it's not in view very well, so if I zoom out a bit, then that shows that. And I've got weekly goals here, which is the first page, trying to utilise all the information. And then I've got my day on one page, so that's got my schedule here. I can put my tasks in. So what I would have I would probably use my weekly goals as my next action lists, that kind of thing that I need to do during the week, and then I'll add them to my day so I can break them down into bite-sized pieces. Now where am I up to? As you can see, Carrie project, doing the project for Carrie. So yesterday, this is today, as you can see. I think I'm missing a little page, I don't know where I've put it. It's a little daily check off list. Oh well, it's around somewhere. So what I've done is just, these are my little tasks or my next actions to do on that specific day, and of course my schedule of things that I need to do. And I forgot to do this because I'm doing the videos instead. Now to give an idea, I've got weekly review, just a little tick list that I got from Brandy Michelle on what she does, just to remind me on what I need to update and check on at the end of the week, so I can basically migrate over to the next week that I need. So usually these pages here have, if I show it, actually I might do another future week because I've got that in the way. Usually you have your weekly page set out like so. That's how it's supposed to be viewed, and this would be your tasks into the next week. So if you needed to write down appointments or things you needed to do the following week, you'd write them in here. But what I've done is washi taped that and adapted it to, what was that showing week 2? Oh, this is week 1. This is my study bit. So, and I'll show you my Evernote in a moment, in my next video I think, just so I can keep these nice and short. I break down what I need to do in my 2 subjects here. So this is to read my study guide. I got the asterisk because it's important. YT is YouTube, just for some reason this lecturer has decided to give us lots of YouTube things to watch. So the cross means it's done. And this ERL is just electronic or e-readings for lecture. And this is ERT, e-readings for my tutorial. And LS is legislation that I need to read. This is the circles mean events, so to ensure that I attend my lecture and my tutorial. then complete my weekly summaries for my exams, and then I've got some notes to do for an assignment that's been released before the course has started. And a similar thing I've done for my Property B. So this one is Introduction. This is Law and Globalisation is this subject. That subject is Property B, or real property, or land property. And this one is to read study guide, textbook chapter 5 and those pages, 4 lots of case law, 4 lots of legislation, and in this section I would expand as to what that case law is, and attend my classes, prepare for my tutorial questions that have been released, do my weekly summary, and do some notes for my test to prepare for that test in week 3, and then that is about it. I haven't filled out the following week. So basically my study section is a replication of the 2.2 that I showed in an earlier video late last year. I think that works fairly well. So when I'm opening up my weekly planner on things to do, I can try and get to the page. I look at my daily stuff and I go, well, hang on, this is the stuff I need to do for my study, and this is actually in the way. I'm going to have to do something about that. That's my weekly thing, was just a project life card that is stopping me from reading what I need to read here easily. So that's how I put that on the planner. So I have in summary, I have the monthly view. What I didn't show is my monthly chart. They are just my tasks or repeated tasks that I need to do throughout the month, and that I ensure that I do them. And the other side of that is obviously my monthly layout, big picture view, expanded notes in here, and this is my goals area that I'm still developing, and this is my study one, but of course this is during my study break, so I haven't filled that out at all. So moving on to this page, I've got a weekly breakdown view. Sorry, excuse me, that's my 2 cats having a fight in the background. Stupid cats. Don't know why they're fighting. This is my time sensitive and day sensitive stuff. This is just a meal plan, so I know what I'm doing with the family, and I can say to my husband, go get out some frozen stuff to feed on my way home, because I get home fairly late from work. Weekly goals, like I said, general weekly aspirations. That is failed already because I had a glass of wine tonight. Yay, failing weekly goals already. And probably putting next action list in here too. Like I said, that's a developing thing that I'm just working on. And then the daily stuff, so basically bringing big down to small, but trying to minimise duplication where I can. My next video will be on the current setup of Evernote that directly relates to what I've shown you in this video. Thanks guys.